Om. 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 Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Yuvantah Pravishya Mama Vacham Prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakhilashakti-dharasvadhamna Anyansha-hasta-charana-shravanatvagadin Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Samacharana-sarojam Sandra-neelambudabham Jagharanihita-panim Pandanam Mandananam Taruna-tulasi-mala Gandharam Kanjanetram Sadaya-dhavalahasam Vithalam Chintayami Vithalam Chintayami. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We are in chapter 5. We have seen till OV number 191. So today from that verse number 10, we have to start. Page 220 in the book. And in the PDF, what page number? Can anybody tell?
249.
249, yeah.
So we'll start from that verse 10. Sarveshu shashvatanubhrutsvavasthitam yatha svamatmanam abhishtamishwaram vedopagitam cha na shrinvate buddha manorathanam pravadanti vartaya. Meaning of the verse. Those fools who do not heed what the Vedas say about the Lord, that is, that like the sky, he is eternally present in all creatures as their very self and the final aim of all human pursuits. OV 192. The God who is at all times fully and completely permeated without discrimination, equally and does not fall short anywhere. 193. He resides in all permanently, but he is not polluted by any form, just as lotus leaf remains aloof though it floats in water. 194. Similarly, he is present in every transaction in the world, just as, O King of all the kings, the sky is penetrating and is around everything in the world, but is untouched by anything. 195. He creates and maintains the whole universe in the same way without getting involved and bound by any form, and in him all such universes exist and thrive. 196. He is therefore called in the Vedas as the innermost and is recognized as the light, the spirit, and dweller in the temple of the heart of every being. 197. If we continuously meditate on this God and with love utter his name, he showers his blessings upon us for all the good things in life which we aspire for. 198. If we recite, tell, and have discourse on the stories of his adventures, all our calamities are destroyed. And if we lovingly adore his beautiful image, he blesses us with continuous joy divine. 199. In short, he is the giver of happiness as well as the ruler of our life. He is the controller of time and death, and being afraid of him, death cannot do anything out of the way. 200. By his path, the beings breathe properly, and being afraid of him, the wind also blows within limits in the sky, and fearing his punishment, the sea cannot drown the earth, though the sea surrounds it. 201. By his orders, the sun maintains the cycle of day and night, and by his eternal path, the sea remains limited with his boundaries. 202. Vedas sing in his praise. Upanishads describe him, but the wicked people never willingly listen to his fame, which is purifying to the ears and mind. 203. By simply remembering his name, all the sins are destroyed. The god of death bows at his feet. He obviates the cycle of births and deaths of his devotees. 204. As soon as we listen to his divine life story, throes of doubts and misgivings in our minds are finished, and this is complete unity with Brahman. 205. He is thus the very image of sacredness. Vedas untiringly praise him. But these unfortunate people never listen to his stories and enjoy thinking about their own dreams of prosperity and achieving them. 206. The bear is self-satisfied in its own roaring. At that time, it cannot hear even the war gongs. Similarly, these unlucky people never listen to the adventures of God, but chit-chat about sensual pleasures enjoyed and to be enjoyed. 207. Therefore, these people are dull, they are not humble, they are adamant, blind slaves to pleasures from objects, and ensnared by worldly attractions. Loke vyavaya nishadadya seva nityastu janto nauhi tatra chodana vyavasthitisteshu vivaha yajna suragrahairasu nivrittirishta. Meaning of the verse. Man is naturally inclined towards the enjoyment of sexual pleasure, flesh and wine. No encouragement is necessary for him to indulge in them. A certain check is laid down by Shastras over these tendencies. By permitting sexual intercourse with one's own wife, meat eating only at the end of animal sacrifice, drinking of wine only during Sautramani sacrifice, by the addicted only, but the real intention is to encourage man to give them up. 208. Though Vedas do not direct people have a natural sexual urge. 209. People have always an appetite for meat, a thirst for wine, and a passion for a woman. 210. Who has any thought to decide what is good and what is bad? Once they are addicted to such things, they will not check themselves in time to prevent disaster. 211. Just as when cotton starts to burn, the fire cannot be extinguished, so a sex-addicted person has no control over his desires. 212. When a fish is hooked by its attraction for the bait, it forgets that there is its depth in it, or just as a monkey puts its hand in a trap for grabbing a handful grass. 213. Or just as a cat is concerned with getting some milk and it is not bothered as to whether the house belongs to a Brahmin or a low caste person, so the persons who are slaves to sensual pleasures never think about the good or undesirable things. 214. Fearing that due to unbridled passions of persons, there will be chaos in the society. The Vedas arrange a system of 4 classes and 4 ashramas to put a check on desire. 215. The earth is very vast and 7 continents are formed and various authorities were appointed. Thus, the whole world was managed in an orderly manner. 216. Or rain is widespread, but people construct dams and collect the water in various lakes, which is afterwards distributed through different outlets for the purpose of agriculture. 217. Or people prepare certain musical instruments to harness the air to produce the desired musical notes, and the instruments can be used to produce 7 notes. 218. Similar to these examples, Vedas laid down particular codes of conduct to prevent the destruction of society due to overindulgence in sensual pleasures. I shall tell you what types of rules of conduct are prescribed in Vedas. 219. Certain rules were made allowing man to have intercourse only with his wife, so that the structure of the society will not be destroyed. 220. This included prohibition of marriage outside one's caste. If a Brahmin has sexual relationship with a washerwoman, she's not bitter for him. Or if a washerman uses a Brahmin woman to satisfy his passion, that Brahmin woman is not pungent for that man. 2 to 1. But caste chaos is bound to take place if freely any man and any woman mate. This happens because there is a wrong mixture of the genes. Vedas introduce marriage and limits of relationship in order to prevent that chaos. 2 to 2. If a woman is sought to marry with, there is a rule that the marriage should be within the class, and further there is a cross limit that the marriage should not be between man and woman belonging to the same gotra. And even in separate gotras, there is a rule that 7 generations of the father and 5 generations from the mother on the ancestral side should not be taken into consideration. 2 to 3. These 3 castes and 3 Vedas should not be mixed. That means both the bride and the bridegroom should belong to the same Veda and the same caste. 2 to 4. The rules laid down by Vedas give a guideline that if there is a girl belonging to the same Veda and the same caste but has not reached puberty, then the prospective bridegroom, through parental mediation, asks the father of that girl to give a hand in marriage. And if he agrees, the wedding should take place by following the proper rituals. 2 to 5. Before marrying, the bridegroom has to take an oath that after marriage, he will not transgress the wishes of his partner in the matter of religious actions, undertakings to earn and spend money, and in the matter of having amorous relationships anywhere, religious, financial, and sexual prohibitions. 2 to 6. At the wedding of the bride and the bridegroom, there are 3 witnesses: Brahmins, gods, and the fire. These are the 3 witnesses. Therefore, the bridegroom is ordered to look upon all other ladies on par with his mother. The Vedas allow a man only to love and have conjugal relations with his wife. 2 to 7. Thus, the Vedas have prescribed rules about marriage and ordered man that he should avoid other women and lead the family life with his family only. 2 to 8. Intercourse is prohibited during the day, and even at night. The first 3 hours and the last 3 hours are to be left, and the intercourse is allowed during the hours of midnight. 2 to 9. Though Vedas have allowed that man should have this relationship with his own wife only, it is not to be indulged into at any time. It should be done with an intention of having a progeny and not for free pleasure. Further, there is a prescribed period for it. 2:30. The Vedas declare that the man and a woman who observe these rules strictly should be considered as bachelors. Thus, Vedas are not really encouraging indulgence, but they have an intention to control and to divert the desires of man towards liberation. They have put a seed of sacrifice and prescribed a schedule of controlled enjoyment. Note, according to details given in the scriptures in this regard, the period which is granted as legitimate for intercourse is 16 days after the end of the monthly occurrence of menses. The 11th and the 13th night are to be avoided. Further, the Ekadashi, Amavasya, Shivratri, and Mula, Magha, and Revati nakshatras also to be avoided. The period of sun eclipse, moon eclipse, the days of mourning, and some other auspicious days are to be avoided. 2:3:1. Atman is none but your son, and your son is your Atman, is a saying in old books. So we are born again as our son. Therefore, it is laid down that after the birth of the first son, one should not have sex even with his wife. Thus, Veda gradually teaches giving up of pleasures. 2:3:2. Now see what rule is prescribed by God through Vedas in respect of eating meat. In order to prevent killing of animals, there are many obstacles and strict rules made. 2:3:3. It is said that those who kill any animal for eating or with the hope of reaching heaven through sacrifice of the animal will definitely go to hell. 2:3:4. If somebody says that he kills the animal as an unattached action without selfish desire, it is not at all true. The Vedas have therefore laid down a rule that non-violence is the greatest merit. 2:3:5. In order to prevent daily meat eating, the rule is made that a man may eat a little meat from the part of the slain animal, which is remnant after the sacrifice, and that also in a very small quantity. Vedas have thus prohibited meat eating freely than to satisfy one's appetite. 236. Now about drinking wine. Vedas say that wine drinking is permissible after performing Sautramani sacrifice. It's not true. One who takes it literally to be an order is deceived in the observance of his own duty. 237. If one says that it is religious duties to be performed in which drinking wine is involved, his tongue will never wither away. These addicted poor people pull Vedas towards the objects of sensual indulgence. 238. The rule is that wine which is remnant after Sautramani sacrifice should only be smelled but not at all drunk. 239. Intercourse, meat eating, and wine drinking are three types of enjoyments to be given up. That is the definite motive of Vedas in laying down these rules. 240. Through establishment of Varnashrama, infrastructure of the society, Vedas have definitely upheld the path of withdrawal from indulgence. They never advise people to increase their attachment. 241. The Vedas never advise to spend money and perform marriages or sacrificial rituals and to eat meat, drink wine, and indulge in sexual enjoyment. Dhananja dharmaika phalayato vai jnanam sa vijnanam anuprashanti griheshu yujjamti kalevarasya mrityunya pashyanti duranta viryam. Meaning of the verse. The only fruit of wealth is dharma or religion, which gives knowledge and direct realization and forthwith leads to supreme peace or liberation. Those who use wealth solely for their own comfort of their family, for their own comfort or of their family, forget that the formidable enemy of their body. 242. Persons who are proud of their knowledge become losers of their real welfare because they do not listen to the glorious stories of the Lord. Rightly, through proper use of money, there is the aim of spiritual life to be achieved, but they do not use money for religious purpose. 243. They spend their money for indulgence into sensual enjoyments, and if there is an occasion to spend it for religion, they get very upset. 244. Actually, religion is personally present with the money. Through money, religious life becomes easy. Just as a man who is born with his feet first is lucky to see hidden money. 245. Where there is seed, the whole tree is also there. Where there is sandalwood, there is fragrance. And in water, there are all tastes. 246. Where there is body, there is karma. Where there is form, there is name. And where there is money, dharma in its various manifestations is present. 247. When the observance of Ekadashi fast is done with the wakeful nights and performance of dances and songs of the god, he is pleased and blesses the devotee, which is possible because there is enough money. 248. So, with dharma, which is possible because of money, there is knowledge as well as self-knowledge. 249. Because the moon is there, we see how various phases by water, the herbs and plants are lush. Similarly, because of sufficient money, a religious man has in his own house a good religious festival. 250. Where there is religion, there is pure knowledge. Where there is pure knowledge, there is self-knowledge. And where there is self-knowledge, satisfaction and real peace are present. 251. But foolish people spend in various sensual enjoyments. This money, which is really wonderful means of such great gain, people become fools because of their attachment to body and forget that they are going to die. 252. The Vedas declare the man who decorates his mortal body and the man who keeps his precious belongings in house, which is on fire, are both doomed. But nobody listens to the warning of Vedas. 253. Right from the cradle, right from the birth, every day, time eats our life period and the body. How do people forget this everyday death by being involved with the body? 254. Time devours childhood, while each and every one sees and also the youth by twisting its neck. 255. After gulping the youth, it brings in the trembling old age. The skill of time is killing every being, is difficult to understand, even by the gods like Brahma. 256. Time brings about the end of so called immortal gods in one sweep. But the foolish people are overconfident that their life is everlasting. 257. When the body itself is impermanent, how can the pleasures which are possible because of the body be permanent? But people have been confused and deluded in spending money for women and other pleasures. 258. So, all the pleasures in this world are temporary, and in order to have this pleasure of more durable nature, people set about performing sacrifices. 259. Just as a moth jumps into the flame with a hope to have pleasure, these people have destroyed by the attachment to enjoyments of this world and the other world. 260. There are men who say, how can there be destruction of a man who enjoys women, meat, and wine when these are allowed by Vedas? But these fools do not know the real meaning of the rules described by Vedas. I think we can pause over here for today. So beautiful thought coming at a right time where it is so clearly, so sharply said what is indulgence. And these three are definitely common indulgence. You raise a toast, any party. It's like that Hindi saying, no? Peene walon ko peene ka bahana chahiye. I'm sad today, I want to drink. I'm happy today, I want to drink. And it's a birthday today. And they've made it so very usual. Oh, you don't drink, it's looked down upon. And just recently, Kerala's Onam festival is over. Predominantly only two festivals over here which public celebrates is Onam and Vishu. And it's not that zeal which was earlier. It's like how many lakh crore alcohol is sold for this season, and which district indulges more. And the purpose of all men coming from different workplaces who are working out or anywhere else, they join only to drink. That's the most purpose. So it's like I've seen this over here. I don't know about all the other states, but the indulgence is so much, and equally man and woman. It's not that man drinks and woman watches. Equal. It's equal. This is one part. Meat eating over here also, I have seen it so rampantly that Hindus are not supposed to eat beef. Hindus only don't know. It's so rampant. They celebrate it view. I've gone to some marriages, housewarming, different functions, and it's on my own relatives, and they serve beef. There I have not eaten food. Whichever place gives, I don't eat or drink from that place at all. I've gone for my own relatives, just the next door neighbor's wedding recently. I didn't eat from there, and they didn't even know and that they are not supposed to do it. Ignorant. And then the other thing was about the sexual indulgence. It's so very rampant. There is no more shy or fear associated with it or guilt associated with it. So with this generation and with our generation also who are living in the new generation, they have changed all the rules. So that is also very rampant. So today's message I felt was very sharp because it is all that what I've seen recently, and I've been seeing it so very commonly, and it's so tough to stand for a value system because everybody is doing, you can do it. I don't mind saying something from Uttarkashi over here. Not very nice, but I don't mind because this is again recorded. The Dhobi who comes over there. So his name was from the other community. Vasim, I don't mind mentioning this. The moment I heard it, so I had a feeling in my head, in a Deva Bhumi, what are they doing? How did they come? He seems very genuine and he's been coming to ashram and that's his job for 4 generations. Everything is good, everything is fine. But the basic question is asked. Why do we need it? Because tomorrow, when they come, like now in Kerala, what I see is so many Bengalis who come. Why do we feed it? Feed them with their funds and settle their families? Because when they grow in a space, they have their worship places coming next to the temples. Tomorrow, don't hesitate to confiscate temple land to put it under whatever boards they have. And tomorrow, even a temple procession, you cannot pass from that land, like what we see for Durga festival in Bengal, West Bengal. We are not having values. We have left. We are not able to stand to any values. Then, if we have to see brotherlyhood into it and things, but the same thing is not reciprocated. Otherwise, why Kashmir would happen? Such exodus. Okay, now Article 370 is gone. Has the Kashmiri Brahmin got back his land? Have they been resettled, relocated into their abodes? That's permanent. What are we seeing? And the latest is the Tirupati Laddu. All the suppliers are from this community. And there is no ghee in Tirupati Laddu, but animal fat. What is the intention out over there? See, we are talking about this, but we ourselves are not able to hold our rules. So I ended up washing my own clothes, but didn't give. And I would soak it in water in the night. Next day morning in the water, just do it, put it for drying under the fan and leave. I'm not saying whether I've done right or wrong or why didn't I see Brahman in there and if I'm not seeing Brahman in Tapovan Kutir, where I will see and all. But the trauma of these so many experiences and then for what value we stand for. So I'm not saying I did right. I'm not saying I did wrong, but it is the experience. So the thoughts while reading this, because recently only this marriage I attended, recently this beef happened, this drinking for the Onam I have seen, all these indulgences I have seen. And it comes today. It was a surprise that the thoughts that were running in my head are all visible just because the ashram gave me the answer because the Hindus are not ready to work hard. These people, they work hard. They come to survive. They want work. And Hindus leave the place and they go down in the place for easy money. And I'm not doing Hindu Muslim out over here. But I'm talking about the dharma. The dharma not in terms of religion, but our own self-respect, our own values, our own festivals, our own thing we are not holding that dharma which we should hold so that it would help us. It's not happening. So Maharajji has said some beautiful lines today, and there is more into that what the lines say, that each one of us with our own experience, we should introspect and correct and hold on to that value amidst all the difficulty. That this I will not compromise. This is my value. This much I can do. Then somebody talks something, then I'll not mention who, but somebody said, our Grantha says Samadarshanaha everywhere, but not Samavartanaha. So we have to treat with what we have to treat. We have to see Brahman, but where we have to criticize what we have to do, you see, but we have to associate or disassociate, we will have to take. Rama, today we saw in today's session that he went to the forest. Chapadhara he went in Narayanan session we saw. He was Chira Valkala Dhari. But Chapa is there. So you can be an ascetic, but you should know to defend yourself. It's not okay, you come and kill me. He defended the land. He defended the yajna. He defended the sages. He defended them. How simply you want. He went Chira Krishna Jinambadhari, whatever he wore, Valkala, matted hair. We saw that. So some things we have to read more than just this alcohol, wine, woman, it's a meat. It's not only that. There is the value system which he kept on mentioning about the Vedas. This we will have to hold on. These were my little thoughts that crossed and the strong feeling that came with the experience. If anybody has any other thoughts, please do share.
Was Swamiji aware that the Dhobi was Muslim? What were his thoughts on it?
We can't say on this, on the recorded things.
Yeah, I like the Gotra part because I got to know of it only a few years back. And I don't know my own Gotra. And I always say Bharadwaj because I don't know. But I just think it's so scientific, right? To not marry and not to have incest and not to have genetic diseases. And
Yes,
it is so scientific, right?
yes,
Similarly, I've understood the basis of the caste. I see the ugly side of it, and I see the rationale to it too. But it really made marriages easier because the value systems were so much common, right? It made it so much easier to adapt.
yes,
And today, when I look at the chaos of marriages and relationships and the lack of frameworks in society that are just breaking,
yes,
and the children being born out of these kind of situations, it's so messy.
yes, yes. It is impacted on the children. The quality is not. So I remember when we had a dog, um, one Doberman we had. So the cost of the dog would go higher if you have the pedigree of it. What is it? Whose father? What is his father? His father. And more it is, you have that, then the cost of this dog is more because he will be true to his traits. And a crossbreed will not have those sharp traits what that particular breed would have or is meant for. So I had asked if for a dog we are seeing that, for human beings it is so much because the progeny will should have the essence. मतलब वो जो रस होता है, वो जो कस होता है, that it has to come through the genes, right? Then why it is said, oh, the Brahmin childs are intelligent. But now no more, because Brahmins also indulge into alcohol and meat and everything. Okay, but there was a time, oh, you are chanting well. Oh, you are saying this well. Oh, are you, your pronunciation, are you a Brahmin? It was associated with that. So that time they had followed. We are not far away. But just the yesterday's class in Ramayana class I was giving, Ajatashatru Gargya example. Ajatashatru is the king. Gargya has come as a student, just passed out. And now he fails in the knowledge and he asks the king to teach him because king seems to know more than what he has learned from his guru's ashram. So the king says this would be a pratilog because you are a Brahmana and Kshatriya. King is greater than him. But while giving the knowledge, Brahman is on top. So he says pratilog. So our all vivahas are pratiloma. We don't see. We just go anyhow with the marriages. Anyhow children are born. So that essence is not there. So we'll have to think, talk about it, bring that awareness back again and have that changed somewhere. Otherwise, this Tirupati laddu, like kind of a thing, there is no ghee and stuff into it. It's pure animal fat into it. Animal fat.
Is it true?
Yes,
Let's see.
yes. See the suppliers. First 7 suppliers.
Oh wow.
Yes. We are not able to protect our own temples. Our temples are only under government thing, but other place of worships are not under government. Churches and mosques are not under government. A madrasa gets a legal thing and a fund. Church gets legal thing and funding. Gurukuls have been stopped by government. Temples are taken over by government. Time to think. Time to demand things. Time to stand for our values. Time to voice it out. Equal, no? Let everything be equal. Either everybody gets subsidies, allowance, or nobody gets. Why choose? If temples are under this, let's bring everything under. So we'll have to voice that out. Where is the problem? So today's session I felt was too strong because of late I've been seeing only this, and what I'm seeing only I got to read. It's like that many times it happens. What you think too much, you experience that kind of a thing. And Maharaji's words were very, very strong today. Any other thoughts? End the session on this note that at least in our space, with our strength, with whatever thing, we try to uphold the Dharma. We try to follow something. We do something about it, not just sit there as something, somewhere small. We should be able to voice it out, not somebody should suffocate and squeeze out our voices. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hari Om everyone. Thank you for joining. See you all tomorrow.
Thank
I'll open the group so that you can put your roster for tomorrow. And next week we will have only on Monday and Tuesday because Thursday is Navratri, so Wednesday evening I'll not get any space for because the Molu thing and all has to be done, finished at the lights. So we'll have this week another 3 sessions and next week 2 sessions. Then we will not have for 2 weeks and again 30. Hari Om.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishaji.
Thank you, Jane. Hari Om.